Hi beautiful, welcome to my channel. Today's video is a Sephora savings event haul, which I am super excited about because even though the box looks small, it is packing, okay? I bought so much that I am very excited about and very excited to share with you. A huge thank you to Sephora for sponsoring today's video. As you may know, the Sephora savings event just started today, October the 27th, for Rouge members, and Rouge members get 20% off of their purchases, and we have until November 6th to shop, and we can place as many orders as we want. VIB members and insiders starts on October the 31st, so on Halloween, and it'll also last till November the 6th. VIB members get 15% off and insiders get 10% off. If you don't have a Sephora membership, it is very easy to sign up and you can immediately qualify to become an insider. Besides that, all of the membership levels get a 30% off of Sephora collection, so anything you want that is Sephora collection you can get for 30% off. If you have yet to sign up to become a beauty insider, I'll have the sign up link down below in the description box, and in the description box you will also be able to find everything that I'm going to mention in today's video. As I said, I am super pumped for all of the products that I bought this time around. You can find the list with all of the links down there. Whenever you shop from my links, it helps out my channel. And so without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Let me just start grabbing things. As you may know, I have super dry skin, so I'm always on the hunt for a good thick moisturizer that is going to make my skin happy. I want things that are going to fix my skin barrier, that are going to protect my skin, keep the hydration in, keep me plump, keep me hydrated. And what I found this time was this moisturizer from a brand called Edom. It says this moisturizer features snow mushroom, tetrapeptide 30, ceramides, and squalene. Ceramides being the key word for me with this one, because I love it when moisturizers have ceramides. I feel like it definitely really helps improve my skin barrier. It says, give your skin barrier a little cushion from inflammation and ashiness. With this lightweight, deeply hydrating cream, daily use helps fade the appearance of hyperpigmentation and boost skin's natural radiance. It says it's made for all skin types and you can use it morning and night. I used it when I was filming my demos for this video, of course, and I gotta say I really love the texture and feel of it. I feel like this moisturizer made my skin feel and look hydrated and plump and bouncy. It sunk right into my skin. It didn't leave any weird films behind, which is something that I'm always careful about because I love a thick moisturizer, but I don't want my moisturizer to sit on my skin. I want it to sink in, and that is exactly what this moisturizer did. So far, I gotta say I'm pretty impressed with the way that this one felt on my skin, the way it hydrated my skin. And even now, after I've been wearing it for a few hours, I feel like my skin feels and looks hydrated still. So I cannot wait to continue to use this one. Let's go from my new moisturizer to a fragrance that has had me so intrigued ever since it came out. I'm talking about the Dolce & Gabbana Devotion Eau de Perfume. This Dolce & Gabbana perfume, I feel like I have seen it everywhere on social media. I have seen ads for it, and I've been very intrigued to try it because I love the aesthetic of it, but also, and most importantly, I felt in my soul that I was really going to love this one because of the notes it has. So this one has candied citrus notes, it has orange blossom and vanilla. So to me it sounded like a sweet gourmand type of fragrance with like fresh notes on top with the candied citrus. And I must say that I'm thrilled that I went with this one because it smells delightful. It smells sweet, it does have that tiny bit of freshness to it, but it also has a pretty strong smoky base that I absolutely love. When you first spray it, it definitely hits you with like an orange flavored candy scent. I feel like that is a good way to describe it, but then it dries down to a much more sophisticated and luxurious type of scent. I am obsessed with the way that the bottle looks as well. The bottle looks so freaking beautiful, and I'm definitely very happy that I went for this one. So if that type of smell that I described is something that you like, definitely go for it. I think it is perfect for the fall/winter season that is coming up, because that is exactly the type of scents that I look for the winter. I love winter scents that feel like a warm hug, that feel very, very cozy, and that is exactly what I feel with this one. So this was definitely a huge success of a purchase right here. I'm glad that I went for it. Sometimes it's a little scary to buy fragrances online, but I promise you, if you like that warm hug, sweet kind of scent, you are going to love this one. Moving on to a new skin tint I've been dying to try. I finally got my hands on the new Estee Lauder Futurist Skin Tint Serum. This one has an SPF of 20. It comes in this beautiful glass bottle with a dropper, and I got it in the color 2N1, which I thought was my color because I have had 2 Neutral 1 products from Estee Lauder before and they have matched me. However, this one, I mean, I'm wearing it right now and it looks okay after I bronzed it up and whatnot. But when I first put it on, I felt like it looked a little bit ghostly. So if we are shade twins, maybe try a shade darker than the one I got, because for me, it was definitely a little bit paler than I prefer. However, as you can see, I made it work. Most importantly, I did really like the coverage and the texture of this one. It doesn't have a glowy, radiant finish, which is kind of something I was expecting. In my opinion, and for my dry skin, it felt more like a natural finish, which I also really like. And it does have a light coverage. However, it covers enough that it covers my redness, which is the most important thing for me when it comes to having a skin tint or BB cream type product that I love. It needs to be lightweight, it needs to be natural looking, but it also needs to cover my redness. And so it did kind of check off all of my boxes. It gave me the coverage I wanted. I like a natural finish in my product and it looks very natural on my skin. As you can see, I was thinking maybe of exchanging it for a darker shade, but I am fading right now, so in a couple of months I'm sure this is going to be my perfect match. Definitely happy that I finally got my hands on this one and that I was able to try it, and I will keep you updated as I use it on how it performs, longevity, and all of that good stuff. I also got a new concealer that I have been dying to try ever since I saw it announced, and that is this one right here from YSL. This is the All Hours Precise Angles Concealer. This one I got in the shade LC5, and if we are shade twins, I also kind of went wrong with this color. This one just looked a little bit darker than I prefer. By the way, it comes in this absolutely beautiful plastic square stylish bottle, and I love the YSL logo on the cap on the side. It looks very fancy on there. As you can see though, when I put it next to my face, that concealer color is not a brightening concealer color on me. However, I did put it on today and I absolutely made it work. I feel like in particular with the foundation being a little bit lighter than I prefer and the concealer being a little bit darker than I prefer, I was a little bit freaked out. But honestly, the formula of this concealer is fantastic. This is also another product that I cannot wait to continue to try because I've now been wearing it for a few hours. It looks nice and natural underneath my eyes. It covered everything that needed to be covered, even though it's a little bit darker than I expected. My under eyes look nice and bright. You can't see my dark circles, and most importantly, it has not creased, okay? Very importantly, it has not creased. So definitely very excited to continue to use this concealer as well, and I think I found a new favorite. I'm very impressed with how lightweight this one was, how it does not crease underneath my eyes, how it hasn't given me texture, it doesn't look dry. So far so good. So far so good with this one. Let's keep going, and the next product is one that I totally thought I was going to skip this year. However, I could not get myself to do it, okay? I had to try it. Gotta collect them all, you know? And I'm talking about I am shamelessly talking about the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Unlocked Leopard palette right here. Now, if you guys watch my channel often, you guys know I bought the other two palettes in this collection a couple of months ago, and I have been obsessed, in love with the Jellyfish palette. The Leopard palette was just always in the back of my mind. I couldn't stop thinking about it. I kept thinking the colors of this one will also match me. Maybe you'll get use out of it. Why not try it out? And so now that I can get it with a discount at Sephora, I thought it was the perfect occasion to finally get my hands on the Leopard palette. This palette has an absolutely incredible mid-tone color story. It has 3 blushes, a highlighter, a bronzer, and also a finishing powder. I'm of course wearing this one on my face right now, and the first product I applied was the bronzer, which was also the one that I was most curious about. The reason why I was so curious about the Leopard bronzer is because I love the bronzer in the Jellyfish palette here, and I'm going to swatch them side by side to show you. Jellyfish bronzer versus Leopard bronzer right here. Now, if it comes to picking out a bronzer specifically, I do believe I still prefer the Jellyfish palette over the Leopard palette, which is kind of what I thought at first. It's the reason that I hadn't bought this one. However, now that I have it, I don't regret buying it because the Leopard bronzer, it's a little bit warmer than the bronzer in the Jellyfish palette, which was definitely a concern of mine. But it's not that much warmer. As you can see, I'm wearing it today and it looks really good on my skin with my complexion. And then concern number 2 was that it was going to be one of the Hourglass glowy bronzers versus the bronzer in the Jellyfish palette, which I already knew has a natural finish to it. And I must say the bronzer in the Leopard palette does have a teeny tiny bit more glow, but it's not a radiant bronzer either, which is what I did expect from the Leopard palette. I expected this Leopard bronzer to have a lot of radiance in it and like shimmers and whatnot. And even though it doesn't have a fully matte finish to it, the amount of radiance it has does not bother me at all. So I do see myself using the Leopard palette. However, my most recommended is still the Jellyfish palette. One of my favorite things about this Leopard palette is the blush that I am wearing right now. This one right here in the center. It's called the Ethereal Flush Blush because I am weak for peachy blushes, and this one looks so freaking beautiful and flattering on my complexion, so this is definitely a beautiful addition as well. If you ask me to pick my favorite of the Hourglass Unlocked palettes and the one that I recommend most to get during the sale, I still would have to say Jellyfish, but I'm glad that I got the Leopard one because now I can give you this feedback with a lot more confidence, and also I can add this one to my collection, which you guys know, I'm a makeup hoarder. What can I say? The next item is one that I put in my favorite Sephora holiday sets video, and I told you I was going to get it for myself, and here it is. I definitely had to get my hands on the Invite Only Mini Afterglow Liquid Blush set from Nars. This set has 3 mini sizes of the Nars Afterglow blushes. We have the shade Orgasm. Let me swatch them for you. We have the shade Dolce Vita, which I actually am wearing a little bit under my other Hourglass blush today, but I have a clip to show you what Dolce Vita looks like on me. It's a bit darker than I expected, but I actually really love the shade. It's a pretty perfect blush for the fall time. I love that it darkened up everything without being too bright or too like in your face. It's a beautiful, beautiful blush, and I'm obsessed with these blush formulas from Nars because they have this beautiful dewy finish to them that makes your cheeks look youthful and glowy and a little bit highlighted without using a highlighter on the face necessarily. I honestly love the way that these look, which is the reason I needed more. I already had one of these blushes in my collection, so when I saw that this set of 3 had 3 different colors, I knew that it needed to be mine. Here's the 3 different colors swatch. So this first one is Orgasm, this one is Dolce Vita, and then the third one is the Orgasm Rush, which is a bit of a darker Orgasm shade. It looks almost a little bit like rusty. And then let's compare these three colors with the one that I already had in my collection, which I also love. The shade that I already have is this one here, which is called Behave, and as you can see is also an absolutely stunning color. I do have one critique on the little set though. I understand that these are mini sizes in comparison to like my big one here, right? I understand that there's a big size difference. However, I really wish that they would have kept the wand a little bit larger. Here's the wand of the original size, which is nice and chunky, and you can very easily apply these with. And then here is the size for the minis, which is just like a lipstick thing, right? It's so very small, and I feel like it doesn't give you the same application experience as when you use the big one. With that said, I was dying to have more shades of my favorite blush formula from Nars, so I'm definitely very happy that they created that set and that I got my hands on it. Two more products to go, one of which is very major, and that is this beauty right here from Danessa Myricks. I got my hands on the Danessa Myricks Beauty Lightwork Volume 5 palette. Here's what happened with this one. I fully intended to purchase this palette to do a review on it when it first came out. However, I don't know why. I thought I had ordered it, and then I kept thinking, why doesn't it get delivered? Like, I kept waiting for it every day. And so finally, I decided to check where my package was, at which point I realized I hadn't ordered it to begin with. And at that point, the start of the Sephora savings event was very near, and so I decided to just wait and get it with a discount. No regrets though, I'm definitely very happy to get it with a discount. Take a look at the absolutely stunning shades on the inside of this palette. I love how she set it up by color stories. And take a look right here at the swatches that I got with this palette. The amount of shifty multi-chrome shades in here is unbelievable. I loved the way that every single one of these shades swatched. This palette is perfect for the upcoming holiday season. I can't wait to create more looks with it. I, of course, am wearing it on my eyes right now. I'm wearing 3 different shades. I applied the shade Unbreakable on my outer corners. I applied the shade Inspiring right in the center of my eyelid, and the shade Protected on the inner corners of my eye, which is that like very light purpley shimmer. And all of this I put on top of like a matte crease shade, and it worked beautifully, okay? I love the way that my eye look came out today. Besides that, I love that when you open the palette, right underneath the mirror it says I am, and then you can kind of pick the vibe for the day with the eyeshadow that you get. So you can say I am centered, I am protected, I am evolving, I am abundant, I am enough, I am unbreakable, I am powerful, I am unstoppable. There's so many beautiful, strong encouragement words on these shades right here. Absolutely loved that concept, so I had to share it with you. And the last product in my box is actually a bunch of different fragrances. I got a collection set of the 1969 Perfume brand from Sephora. I have one of their fragrances which I've had for a couple of years. I'm like getting to the bottom of it, and this one is the 1969 fragrance in the scent La Habana, which I obviously bought because that's where I'm from. And so I was very curious to see what my city smelled like to this French perfumer. And I remember reading the story about how his grandpa traveled to Havana in the glory days of Havana in like the 1950s and 1940s, and he would party in Havana cabarets, and so it smelled to him a lot like the notes in this fragrance, which is rum and tobacco, and it's like this very strong, smoky, masculine type scent. But don't get me wrong, it is one of my favorite winter fragrances because, like I told you, I love the stronger type of scents for winter time, and this one honestly does kind of smell a lot like Havana. And so whenever I wear it, it definitely does bring fond memories to me. I love the smell of tobacco leaves. I don't love the smell of like when the cigar is burning, but the actual tobacco leaves smell so freaking wonderful to me. My grandpa on my mom's side of the family, he would bring the tobacco leaves from his province, and he knew how to de-stem and roll himself a cigar. So he would sit at the dining room table and roll himself a cigar almost on a daily basis. And that's a core memory right there, first of all. But I absolutely love the smell of the tobacco leaves, and this perfume reminds me a lot of that. Anyways, what I was getting at is that I absolutely love the Havana scent from 1969, and I have been wanting to explore the rest of the scents in their brand. And in this set, which by the way was pretty affordable, I have 7 different fragrances from the brand that I can try. One of them is Havana, which I already have in love. So I have 6 new scents to try that I'm pretty excited about. Take a look right there at the rest of the scents. We have La Habana on top, Invisible Post, Lair Barbs, Rainbow Bar, Casbah, Capri, and Purple Haze. I can't wait to smell all of those scents and wear all of those scents and hopefully fall in love with some of them in the future. And that was the last of this haul. As I told you at the beginning of the video, the box was tiny, but in my opinion, the haul was mighty. I got so many products that I was so excited to try and to own. If you guys are interested in any of the products I mentioned in today's video, please don't forget to use the links I'm leaving you down in the description box when you're shopping. Whenever you shop from my links down there, it helps out my channel, so I truly appreciate it. A huge thanks to Sephora for sponsoring today's video. If you guys liked the video, don't forget to please give it a thumbs up before you leave. If you're new here, please don't leave without subscribing to my channel. I love you all so much. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you back in the next video. Bye.